sorry? It's just comics.
My dad.
Oh.
Yeah, just fascinated. By the way, I'm John.
Hi, John. Walter.
Walt, Mr. Simonson, nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
I heard that your wife co-created Cable with Rob Liefeld.
Say again?
Your wife co-created Cable with Rob Liefeld.
That's right.
And Cable's played by Thanos.
Say it again? Cable is...
Played by Thanos. Josh Brolin.
Oh, Brolin. I have not seen any of those movies. Well, I've seen some, but I've not seen the movie with Thanos. I haven't seen the movie with Cable. Deadpool 2, I think it was. So I haven't seen the movies. I know they did them. I know they were in the movies, but I haven't seen the actual film. I've seen stills, but I haven't seen the movies. So.
Oh.
I go see some of them, but I haven't seen all of them by any means.
Yeah. Well, speaking of movies, the Disney-Fox merger was completed on Wednesday.
Yep. Hopefully, it means we'll get some decent X-Men movies and maybe a decent... They own the Fantastic Four, right?
Yes, they do.
I'd love them. I mean, they've been okay for X-Men movies. What I really want is a good Fantastic Four movie. That would be great.
Amen. You worked on the Fantastic Four.
I did. I did them for about a year and a half.
Year and a half, huh?
Yep, 18 issues or something like that.
18 issues?
Yeah, back in 1990, 91, somewhere in there. 89, 91.
89 to 91.
Somewhere in there.
Wow.
They were fun. Well, I read them when I was young, when I was reading Marvel Comics. So it's before, too, so it's fun to go back and actually read that stuff.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah. And now, those characters are becoming pop culture phenomena.
Yes, they are.
Especially in movie form.
Back then, who knew?
Yeah, my dad's a huge fan of the cinematic universe.
Oh, all right, and you've probably seen all the movies. Oh. Oh, well, my mortgage thanks you.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure this is my dad.
Yeah, I just read all of his comics.
Oh, all right, good going.
Who are you drawing?
Well, I did Thor many years ago for Marvel, and then a few years back, I began doing my own version of Thor, in a very different story. And he looks like that guy in that gentleman's chest right there. So I'm drawing that character. And that's my version of Thor.
Mind if I take a picture of you doing it?
No, not at all.
Okay. Wow. All right. Wow. So you're drawing that guy's t-shirt, huh?
Yep. Well, I did that drawing too, so this won't be quite as elaborate as that drawing. I work better in my studio when I'm sort of not... I have my reference and I have my music on and stuff, and that works okay. That's right,
Just
no
to be
pressure.
Clear, I'm 60% heroes nerd, 40% sci-fi nerd.
Oh, all right. Well, I started out in science fiction fandom before I got into comics, but
Wow.
But I was never a member of comics fandom. By the time I was ready to do that, in a sense, I was already doing comics professionally, so I wasn't really a part of fandom in comics per se.
Are those comics of your character?
These are the ones I did. Would you like one? If you want to go through and choose one, take
Are
one.
these free?
Yes, they are.
Wait, they're free?
So yep. So you can just take. I appreciate you take one rather than several. One thing that was cool. This one issue here, I drew the cover and a friend of mine drew it. I didn't draw the inside.
At 2 o'clock we have the panel on Why We Women Creators in Comics. That will be in the Mechanic Falls room upstairs.
As far as I know, this is the first comic book to go into space.
Whoa!
Not this issue, I mean not this copy, but this issue. In 1985, in July, I think, one of the space shuttles went up. And when it went up, there was a group of young people, young astronauts, or something like that, and they got to put a little footlocker together with stuff in it that would just go up in the shuttle and come back. And that comic book was one of the ones they chose to go up in the shuttle. So I know of that issue. I saw a plaque commemorating it in the office. Nobody told me about it. I only wrote in the comic and drew the cover.
Yeah.
But they had a metal plaque in the office of one of Marvel's vice presidents that commemorated the event. So you're quite welcome. So,
Man, I can't
and actually, I
believe-
like that story. So,
I'm gonna see a keynote with you and your wife soon.
yeah, she's on a panel at the moment.
Oh, she's on a panel.
Yep, which is around. Where are we here? It's around that way somewhere. I'm not just gonna. You keep going, you'll eventually get there. But
Okay.
I think the panel started at 1:30. I'm guessing it runs for an hour. Most panels run for an hour. So
Yeah, that's what
I'm
I
guessing
noticed.
that's what they would do.
Yeah, I mean,
All
yeah.
right.
You know, my favorite Disney properties of all time are The Incredibles at number 5, Iron Man at number 4, Avatar at number 3, a Star Wars at number 2, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe at number 1.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought about rating them, so I don't have any ratings of that stuff anymore. When I was younger, I would have rated them, and I'm too old to have ratings. It's like, I like it or I don't like it at the end. You know, that's enough. I did love the first Star Wars movie, the very first one. Loved it.
You mean A New Hope?
Yes.
Yeah,
When that
that's
came
what I
out,
thought.
it was so different from everything that anybody had done in science fiction before that. Just the way the visualization, it kind of remade the way science fiction movies were done. And it was amazing to watch.
Now you're working on science fiction comics and stuff like that.
I do sometimes.
Yeah.
It's on the news all the time.
Yep.
It's on that.
Well, in New York City, which I was living at the time, it played in a theater called the Lowe's Astor Plaza down in Midtown. And it ran in that one theater for more than a year. Because they had an advertisement in the newspaper. Happy first anniversary Star Wars, Lowe's Astor Plaza Theater. And they had a bunch of the black and white, a bunch of the little action figures that come out by that time, just standing around the outside of the ad. So can you imagine any movie anywhere playing for a year in the same theater now?
No.
It was unbelievable.
I also never seen a movie that was getting news coverage night after night because of people who were seeing it so many times.
Yep.
Wow.
It was great. So it was a game changer. Although that
Yeah.
phrase gets used a lot, but that movie really was.
Yeah.
I'm just doing this in pencil, Benny, so you're gonna get
No.
a pencil drawing when I'm done.
That is perfectly fine with me.
Try to concentrate?
No, I'm good.
Oh, okay.
I can talk and draw at the same time.
Whoa.
And if it gets really complicated, I may stop talking, but so far so good.
Okay. Wow, I mean, I can't believe it. Now you're working on some Marvel characters, huh?
I did a lot of Marvel characters. I worked for them for like 14 years.
14 years. Wow. So what are you doing now?
My own book called Ragnarok, which is my own version of Thor.
Whoa.
So I do IDW publishes it. This is the main character. This is my version of Thor. In the Norse myths, you may know this already, or you might not. In the Norse myths, there's an event that happens at the end of time called Ragnarok. And I know Marvel the movie out by that name as well, but there is a Ragnarok in the myths. And what happened, Ragnarok roughly translates as the twilight of the gods or the doom of the powers, different translations. And what happens in the myths is all the gods gather together, a bunch of bad stuff happens. And then all the bad gods gather together on a battle plan called Vigrid. And all the bad guys gather together, Midgard Serpent and the various frost giants, and Fenrir the wolf and Loki. And they all fight in this giant battle. And in the end, they all kill each other. And Surtur, the only surviving fire giant, takes his burning sword and he flings flames across the 9 worlds. And everything burns and the stars fall from the sky and the earth sinks into the ocean, which is how they used to conceive of the earth, floating in a cosmic ocean. And everything goes black. And then gradually, the earth rises back up green again. and a single man and woman have survived in the deep woods. And a few of the children of the gods have survived in the highest hall of Asgard, the Not in Gimli. And they repopulate the world, and the gods come back. And there's a very cryptic passage that suggests that maybe evil had come back into the world as well. It's from poetry, and it's not easy to know what it means to the Norse. We have trouble understanding it. It's written in a very cryptic way. The audience it was written for would have known instantly what that was all about, because they would know the whole story. We don't, so we have to guess. But it's a great story. The actual story is fabulous. It's not very long, it's in short poetry. So I thought it would be, I got asked if I wanted to do my own version of Thor, and I thought it'd be kind of cool. I thought about what I wanted to do, and eventually I decided to do, in the myths, in Ragnarok, at that big battle, Thor and a creature called the Midgard Serpent, who's one of Loki's children, fight. And the Midgard Serpent is so big, he lies under the ocean and encircles the world. And he rises up and goes at the battle plane, and Thor kills him with his hammer. But as and steps back 9 paces, and as he's stepping back, the serpent gushes forth blood or poison or ichor, whatever it is, and it overwhelms Thor, and Thor dies. So that's how Thor dies in the story. And in my story, I do that same story, except that when Ragnarok happens and the bad guys all get together and the good guys all get together, Thor isn't there. But we don't know why. And the bad guys and the good guys fight, but because the Midgard Serpent doesn't get killed, he helps all the other bad guys, and they kill all the gods. And the bad guys survive.
Oh, man.
So the bad guys take over. The 9 worlds collapse because all the balance of power is everybody's out of balance. The 9 worlds collapse. The sun and the moon were eaten in the mist. They're eaten by these giant wolves that are pursuing them all time. They get eaten. When I started, and you don't hear more about it in the story, in the myth. But my idea is that, well, if you eat the sun, you eat the moon. That's like really bad for you.
Whoa!
So the wolves die after they've completed their, and they fall into this now vast land that's all 9 worlds collapsed together.
Whoa.
So there's a giant rotting carcass of a wolf over here somewhere with a sun inside, and a giant rotting carcass with a moon inside, and they're glowing. And so day and night, there's no day and night anymore. There's just this kind of twilight from the sun and the moon. And so the realm is now called the Dusklands because it's always kind of dusk. It's the end of things. And the bad guys take over and divide their kingdoms up. And eventually, after about 300 or 400 years, Thor comes back. But now he looks like that.
Terrible.
No lower jaw. He doesn't. It turns out he's been in prison all this time, in a prison all this time, chained all this time. But he stayed alive barely. And he comes back to discover that all the gods are dead, his wife is dead, his children are dead, his father's dead, his family's all gone. He's the last god standing.
Whoa!
So he learns what's happened, he finds out, figures it out, learns what's been going on. So in the end of the first series of stories, first story arc, he picks up his hammer and he goes out into the Dusklands to find the great enemies and kill them.
Whoa!
So Ragnarok is still going on. As long as he's alive, Ragnarok is not over. I've done 2 story arcs so far. One called Last God Standing, it sets all this up, and one called The Lord of the Dead, which a new guy has come up to claim the kind of ownership of the dead, and Thor has to deal with him. And I'm doing a new arc right now, which I'm writing. Actually, it's written. I'm drawing it now, called The Breaking of Helheim.
Yeah.
And Helheim's where all the bad guys, all the dead are. And they're out wandering around the Dusklands, and Thor's not very happy about that. So he's going to walk down into Helheim and try and set things right.
Wow.
So that's my story. This is my version of Thor.
Yeah.
I just cheated and read a bunch of comic books in a row.
What's that? Yep.
Yeah.
You have to buy them still.
Well, thanks for the storyline.
There's an overview.
Well, the first 2 6-issue runs are out in hardcover, and the second one's also out. The first one is out as a trade paperback. So they're out there and they're available.
Whoa.
You have to see the pictures.
Yeah.
You have to see the pictures.
It's an overview. You can't really get the story with an overview.
Well, tell you what. Where's my portfolio? Here it is. I won't share the whole thing. I want to spoil stuff. but I will show you a couple of quick drawings.
Whoa!
These are the wolves eating the sun and the moon.
Whoa. That would make for great visual effects, by the way.
They are great.
Well, it's a comic book. I mean, it is a comic book. So, and then this is the Midgard serpent who isn't being killed by Thor. This is the ship of the dead that sails from Hel to Helheim to reach the battle plane. And this is Thor, it's Heimdall and Loki killing each other.
Whoa.
Because in the myths, Heimdall kills Loki and Loki kills Heimdall. So that's what this is. So these are pages for the next issue that are coming out in July.
Whoa. Coming out in July.
Yeah.
Wow, we're getting
Yeah, this is Surtur killing Frey. This is Fenrir about to eat Odin. And this is Tyr, who's dying, killing Garm. He actually fulfills his mission. And he kills the great hellhound Garm.
Whoa.
You guys can sneak over and look on the other side if you want.
Wow, cool. Well,
So this is what I'm working on right now.
Beautiful stuff.
talk about sneak preview.
So that's my sneak preview.
He should be
Cool.
he should be selling 1 million copies each.
Yeah, we sell about 5 copies each.
Everybody in the state. Well,
I hope so. It'll be out in July. It's called RAGNAROK. Available then at fine comic shops, or maybe not. You probably have to order it from the comic shop. Otherwise, they don't have any copies on hand.
oh boy.
Material, yeah.
Yeah.
What time is it, Benny?
It's 2:08.
Oh, all right. I might have finished this after my panel, but we'll see.
Okay.
Take your
Alright.
time.
All right. All right. See you at the panel.
All right.
Good kids.
Yeah.
Every time she draws something, you always Joe, you need to do more.
So I was telling Louise that I think Ragnarok is so dense in story that you may need to write it in novel form.
Oh, yeah. Well, I may do that eventually. It might be easier than drawing the comic book all the
just
time.
do it as a novel and give us an illustration per chapter.
Yeah. I will say, this pebble surface is eating up my lead faster than I can see. I have extra lead here, I'm good, but it's going to chew up my lead a lot getting this done.
I'll make a note for the next time.
Well, for a pencil drawing, much better than plate. Plate finish would be a lot harder to get a good dense black line on.
How do you like that sketch cover stuff?
What, doing sketch covers?
Yeah.
That's all right. I mean, I'm used to it. When I was in Lucca last November in Italy, I was doing 50 drawings a day head sketches. Mostly Thor, some other Apocalypse, other guys that get Dark Side once in a while. Oops, you shouldn't go to the top. But I have to say, I got really good by the end of the 5-day con at doing a really fast Thor.
Yeah, you had to put in extra. You were doing overseas duty.
I was. I need extra per diem.
Is that kind of like doing undo online? Control Z. That's what I'm doing right now. Control Z.
Now, the different jewels on his costume,
Say again?
the different jewels on his costume, do they mean anything, or are they just decorative?
I think they will eventually. I mean, the one down here is probably just decorative. But he still has one, you know, he broke the one in the front that enabled him to get loose, or it got broken. But there's one in the back, right where his belt is. And I don't know what that's for yet, but I will find out before I'm done.
Still have to figure out where he left his jaw.
No, Mike Mignola had a good idea for that. I'm not sure it's what I'm doing. I had a couple of ideas too. Mike's may be funnier. Well, it is funnier. If it works, I might do it. But I didn't really plan to have him with no jaw all this time. I really thought he'd be finding it, and that would be, we'd get it back. He sort of looks so cool without it.
Yeah.
That I just haven't put it back on him yet. And I may not.
No, that's part of his charm.
Well, I do have an idea for something that might work pretty well for that as kind of a temporary solution, but I'll have to see. Clean up the edges a little bit.
Can you make a note on your signature that it was from ITHACON 44?
Sure.
Give the show a shout out.
The 23rd today? Is that right?
Yes.
I'm not going to try that.
It's like a pop quiz, I never can remember. I have to ask, and everybody kind of goes, I'm like, oh good, they don't remember any more than I do. So that's but we all have phones, so it all shows up there.
I actually did walk for it on stage back to back to the
And actually get home, cut this off about here, and then we'll look like I compose this better than putting it all down at the bottom of the page. That would be a better idea.
Wow. Thank you, Walter.
You're quite welcome.